in America, we all bleed red, white, and blue. God bless America for that. So we're starting these America First rallies, and we're going to take them across the country. Because I'll tell you something, I'm a first-time congresswoman. I've never held office before. I'm a regular person, just like every single one of you. And there's one thing I believe with all my heart is the people of this country are what matters. And it's the people of this country that make this country work. It's the small business owners, the people that go to work every single day and work long hours and make ends meet. It's our truck drivers. It's the people that work in our small businesses, our restaurants, construction companies, all kinds of small companies across this country that love it so much, that don't ask for a handout. You work hard every single day, you pay your taxes, you do everything right, but now you're being controlled in a government that is trying to take away all your freedoms. We're not going to let that happen. And I know for a fact when we pull everyone together, because it's the people in America that can make it change, right? I believe in people over politicians. Well, like many of you, I've been a business owner for the past 2 decades, and I never really was interested in politics a whole lot. I sure as heck never wanted to be a member of Congress. This is a really dirty, rotten job, I can tell you that much. But there was a certain person that ran for president in 2016, and I liked what he had to say. I understood what he had to say, and it made sense to me to have someone like that running our country. He was a businessman. And then I'll tell you what happened. We elected him. We got the Republican-controlled House, the Republican-controlled Senate, and Donald J. Trump in the White House. And I thought, wow, things are about to happen. We're going to build the wall. We're going to defund Planned Parenthood. We're going to defund sanctuary cities. Yeah. We're going to repeal Obamacare. And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. But guess what? That didn't happen. Didn't happen in the first 2 years under President Trump with Republicans running the show. What? Did y'all say RINOs? Yeah. Okay, well, let me explain to you all what they don't understand in Washington, D.C., and what the political consultants and those that run everything in Washington and the staff that never ever leaves, they just move around, they don't understand what you all just said. RINOs, Republican in name only. They don't understand that how regular people, which is all the voters, by the way, 75 million people, are tired of Republicans saying these things but not delivering, right? Wait, say it again. Good, we want everybody to know that. So, here's the deal. That's when I started paying attention, when Nancy Pelosi took the gavel. And so I said, you know what? We make it work every single day in the real world. We're able to pay our bills. We're not in debt. We're able to achieve things, and I think it's time for real people to go to Washington. And so that's why I'm a member of Congress. And they don't like me very much. Thank you. And I love you because you are the people I understand. You see, I got to Washington And I wasn't there very long. It was literally the second day when we had to vote on the rules in Congress. And let me tell you what they decided to do. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats decided that they were going to erase gender in the rules for the 117th Congress. Yeah, imagine that. You can't say he, she, him, her, mother, father, daughter, son, brother, sister. I'm sitting there going, wait, have these people lost their minds? Oh, let me tell you, I found out a lot more how crazy they are. And they call me crazy, which is really funny. So we voted on that, and, well, I voted against it, and so did a lot of other people, but the Democrats said, yeah, we don't believe in gender. We aren't going to say these pronouns and so forth. And then the days went on. Well, let me tell you, the bills that they introduce are atrocious, and I want to inform you all about something that I was shocked by. You wouldn't believe how many bills, as a matter of fact, most of them get passed by people saying their vote. We have 435 members of Congress. But yet, here's what they do. With a handful of members, maybe 10 or less Democrats and 10 or less Republicans, they call the bill to the floor and we vote on it. And the Democrats, because they're voting on all of their bills, go, yay. And then all of us Republicans are like, nay. But sadly, some Republicans say yay, which I still haven't figured out. And then it passes. Well, I want to tell you, the first time I saw a bill pass like that, I think it was audible when my chin hit the floor. You see, I believe that all members of Congress should actually vote. What do you guys think? Isn't that a novel idea? Well, you see, the Democrats in charge were so sweet to me, and then there were I think, 11 Republicans, something like that, 10 or 11. I have that list. I'm hanging on to it. That were so nice to give me some free time. And they decided to kick me off committees over a few things that they didn't like on Facebook some years back. And so it was pretty interesting. They said they didn't want me on committees, and I was like, oh, thank God, because the Democrats are running the committees, and they don't listen to Republicans anyways. And I'm the kind of person, I'm a business owner. I've accomplished a lot. I've been a competitive athlete, and I like to compete, and I hate to lose. If you want to give me some time on my hands, then you better believe I'm going to figure out smart ways to use it. So, I got with some people, some smart people, and I learned a little bit about floor procedure and floor action and how all this stuff works there in the chamber. And then I found out that I can make things happen, and I don't even have to be on committees. And I found out I can force every member of Congress to vote on bills that are brought to the floor. Because you want to know, right? And I don't think this is a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. This is an American people issue. Everyone deserves to know how their member of Congress votes. So I started calling, Madam Speaker, I'd like the yays and nays. Well, let me tell you, you'd have thought that a bomb went off in there, and that would be a really bad thing. Because everyone was very upset with me about that. Oh, the audacity of that Marjorie Taylor Greene calling for recorded votes. How dare she put us on record? Yeah. Let me tell you all the things that were very offensive. Number one, guess what they had to do? When you call for a recorded vote, that means everybody's got to stop what they're doing, and they have to walk down to the chamber with the voting card, put it in there, and you vote. Well, does that sound so difficult to do? No. Oh, you'd have thought that it was the hardest thing ever. We were making these people work. Oh, the complaining, the complaining. Well, the Democrats were very upset because it was messing up the schedule. because they're trying to ram through all the socialist bills they possibly can. You know, like the Equality Act that puts biological men in our bathrooms and in our girls' sports. How do you guys feel about that? All right, I'll come back to that. I have a good story for y'all. Okay, and they had a bunch of other bills, you know, like allowing felons to vote from prison. Do you think that's a good idea? Murder people and then you get to vote? I don't think so. Cori Bush likes that one, by the way. That was her bill. So here's what we did. So I started calling for these recorded votes, and Democrats were, you know, really upset because it was messing up the schedule and it was taking a lot of time. And everybody had to stop what they're doing. They had to stop their lunches and stop their fundraising calls and get up from their nap and all kinds of things and come down and vote. Well, it wasn't just the Democrats that were upset with me. It was the Republicans also. Yeah. Well, guess what? As a matter of fact, I got chewed out quite a few times, and it wasn't by Democrats because they don't talk to me. It was by Republicans. Yeah. Do you want to know what they said? Oh, yeah. Marjorie, you don't want to do this, Marjorie. I said, why? Why not? Well, you're going to put people on record. You just need to let these things pass quietly, and you can vote your conscience, Marjorie. You can say yay or nay. I was like, that's not what I'm here for. I know how to do a job, and I like to work hard. But just like you, just like all of you, just like the American people, well, except the ones that love getting paid their bailout checks and staying home and won't go to work. That's another issue. So I got chewed out for making people vote. And it was Republicans that didn't like it. Well, we can just go with the RINOs. Y'all want names, don't you? See, this is what they don't understand. And it's on both sides of the aisle. They've been there so long that they only know how to function together. And they forget who they work for. They work for you. Well, let me tell you, once we started putting them on record and calling for recorded votes, and I started getting help from my friends in the House Freedom Caucus, by the way, and I started getting help from people like Matt Gaetz, and we started calling for recorded votes. Well, that changed things, and here's how it changed. For instance, there was one week, there were 28 bills that were set to go out there, and I said, put it on Twitter, because evidently Twitter is where you tell everybody everything, unless you get kicked off, right? I said, I'll be calling for the yays and nays. And then all of a sudden, magically, boy, that list got dropped down. There was only 5 bills that came through that week. And I'll tell you one more thing that really, really sets them off. It's when I ask for a motion to adjourn. Oh. Well, that really upset people. A motion to adjourn is very important. It's when you're saying Congress needs to go home. Congress needs to stop. I want to call for a motion to adjourn every single day because Congress is so out of control. Congress needs to stop and go home. So let's talk about science. Do you guys believe in science? Trust the science, right? I'll tell you a quick story about my neighbor across the street, my neighbor across the hall. Apparently, I have a Democrat across the hall. I didn't know it because, again, they don't really talk to me much. Anyways, I found out because there was a video on Twitter, and it was the week of the Equality Act, and I had been pretty vocal about that, saying that's not a good idea. And there was a video on Twitter that was tagging me with my neighbor across the hall, Democrat Representative Marie Newman. And I'd never met her, and usually I'm from the South. When we meet our neighbors, we do it with like a plate of cookies or some brownies or something, maybe a bottle of wine. That's not how I met my neighbor. she put a video up where she started the video on my nameplate by my door that y'all don't get to see because they don't allow you in the buildings that you pay for in Washington, D.C., by the way. Anyways, the video started on my nameplate, and then it went to her where she planted the trans flag right by her door. And then she did her hands. I was like, okay, well, who's this lady? Oh, my goodness, she's across the hall. So I said, okay, well, I'll do my video to her. And it's evidently been seen a lot. So we started a video on her nameplate, and then it panned over to me, and I put a sign on the wall. There's only 2 genders, male and female. Trust the science. So I lovingly call her now Maria New Person because she doesn't believe in gender, so why call her Newman? She's like, New Person. And I've left my sign up, so when Nancy Pelosi decides that the taxpayers can come to Washington and go in the Capitol again and the office buildings again, I really hope you all come to visit me and take a picture by my sign. I would very much like that. Let's talk about some other things. How do you all think that Joe Biden should be impeached? Yeah, I think so too. As a matter of fact, I introduced articles to impeach Joe Biden. And I really don't care if Republicans are in the minority. I think we still need to work to impeach Joe Biden. And you do too. You see, Joe Biden has a certain weakness, and his name is Hunter Biden. And Hunter Biden has a certain affinity with doing business in Ukraine and China. Yeah, and I think that's a little problem for the President of the United States, and it's a bigger problem for the American people. Because the Democrats impeached President Trump over a perfect phone call, by the way. So, you know, I don't think that's the way that it works. And I think accountability is important. After all, the American people, all of you and all of me, all my life, we've had to be accountable, right? Nobody just lets us off the hook because we're friends with all the right people. Isn't that so? No. And the American people deserve to see our leaders who are paid with our tax dollars held accountable for doing wrong to the American people. Well, that was about 2 weeks before I got kicked off my committees, so maybe that had something to do with it. Let's talk about a lovely lady named Maxine Waters. I can't believe y'all don't like her. She's been serving in Congress, I think, longer than I've been alive. Well, how do you guys feel about a member of Congress traveling to another state that she doesn't live in, where there have been riots night after night, going there late at night, staying out past curfew, demanding a certain verdict for a trial that was still going on? I think that's inappropriate, don't you? And then telling the rioters, the people that are rioting, breaking the law, by the way, getting arrested at night, saying, what was she saying? Be more confrontational. Stay in the streets. Take to the streets. Break the curfew. Be more confrontational. Well, here's the question that we need to ask. After a year that the American people had to deal with watching cities burn, cities on fire, businesses looted, innocent people attacked, streets blocked, people in cars and trucks attacked, police officers night after night being attacked, and so much more. Innocent people like retired police officer David Dorn being murdered. Let me ask you all, what is more confrontational than that? What did Maxine Waters mean? Maxine Waters should be expelled from Congress. So I introduced a resolution to expel Maxine Waters. I've also introduced a lot of legislation that they keep saying, Marjorie, we can't get that done. I've introduced very strong border legislation. Yeah. I've introduced very strong Second Amendment legislation to protect your gun rights. Many, many bills. I've co-sponsored many bills, and I want to tell you, here's what they don't understand, and here's what you understand, and I understand, is you don't get something done in a day. You lay the groundwork, and we may be in the minority, and that does not matter, but we should be introducing strong legislation. We should be introducing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden, resolutions to expel Maxine Waters. You want to know why? Because they need the message that this is what we're going to do when we get in the majority. And the Republicans in Congress need a lesson from the American people, the Republican voters, and the Republican donors. Money talks, everybody. Here, that's right. You are the majority. Here's what Republicans in Congress need reminded of. The American people, the Republican voters and donors, don't want to be told stuff on Fox News. They don't want to be told things on the campaign trail. They don't want to be told anymore. Republicans, voters, and donors, and people that would join the Republican Party, but they don't because they see Republicans fail, is they want to see action. You want to see action. And we didn't see that action in the first 2 years in a Republican-controlled Congress under President Trump, did we? And that's why we ended up with Democrats controlling everything in the next 2 years. See, they don't think that's true, but that is true. Exactly. We know that's true. So we have an opportunity going into 2022, and let me tell you what America First rallies are all about. We need to send a message. Here is the message. You see, the Democrats, the people in charge right now, that put a great big fence and put a whole bunch of military up there around the Capitol to let you all know that you can't go there. The Democrats that say they won the presidential race, the Democrats that are working very, very hard and very fast and aggressively to pass their socialist agenda for America, the Democrats that shame you all the time for supporting Trump, the Democrats that shame you for supporting America First, the Democrats that call you ugly names like deplorable and insurrectionist and all these ugly names that trash you, but guess where you hear that from the most? Where do you hear it from the most? The media. You hear it from the media. That's right. So you get told every single day, oh, if you want election integrity, you're a terrible person. Well, guess what? It's the hashtag resist crowd. It's the same women that went to the Women's March after President Trump was elected and dressed in female genitalia. It's the same people that believe the Russian collusion conspiracy lies and the media that preached it and preached it and preached it till everybody wanted to throw up. Those are the same people telling you, you don't have a right to see transparency in your elections. What do y'all have to say about that? That's right. So here is what's going to happen with America First rallies. This is very important. We are coming out strong. And we are coming out very loud and very proud. And we are coming out like we did for President Trump at all these rallies because we have a message for the Democrats and the fake news media. You are not going to destroy our country. You are not going to shame us for being proud American patriots. You are not going to put us down for loving President Trump and what he did for the past 4 years. You see, they thought you were going to not come out anymore. They thought they have intimidated you. They thought you were defeated. They thought that you people were done. We're not done. No, we're not done. And I'll tell you why. Here, they don't understand why. You want to know why? Here's why. Because all of us are people that love this country. We love what it means to be an American. We don't care about people's skin color and gender and all of this identity politics garbage. We don't want to be divided. We want to be Americans together. Thank you. I love you too. You see, here's what I know about you because it's the same thing about me. We're grateful. We know that what it means to be an American is something special. We know that it's what people all over the world want. Right? And we know for a fact that people died and bled to give us these freedoms, and we're so grateful for it. That's right. And God bless you. If you're a veteran in here, stand up. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. See, the veterans that serve this country, they're the greatest men and women in this nation. They sign up. None of these veterans signed up to go serve and protect our country because they wanted America to be a socialist nation. No. You signed up for freedom because you love it and you want to preserve it not only for yourself but your family, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and people in the future you know you'll never meet. And see, that's something that has been forgotten, and it means something. You see, there's something else I know about every single one of you. You're tired of the lies. You're tired of the moral degradation of our society. We don't want our children taught there's no such thing as gender. That's stupid. We don't want to pray to the climate gods and confess our sins and pass the Green New Deal. No, thank you. Electric vehicles are cool. I like them, and I think that's awesome technology, and we want to keep our earth clean, and we want the most beautiful earth in the whole world, but do we want to destroy the oil and coal industry? No. We don't want to do anything that destroys our economy. We want to build our jobs. But our government's been paying people to stay home, haven't they? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not supposed to say it, but I really want to. Yeah, they've been paying people to stay home for a year, and guess what? What is that doing? Nobody wants to go to work. No one's going to work. It's hurting everything. That's right. We also need to end abortion. That's the biggest thing we need to do. Over 62 million people murdered in the womb, and none of our tax dollars should ever pay for it. We have a lot of work to do, America. And so this is why we're here. We're building hope. We're pulling everybody together because we're not finished. As a matter of fact, we're just getting started, aren't we? Yes. So you guys plan to stick around. I hope you're not going to leave anytime soon. No, you need to stay. So, number one, share this with your friends. Share this with your family. America is the greatest country in the world. Yes. My favorite president, President Trump. Your favorite president, President Trump. He has not quit. He's not given up. And he loves all of you. He loves you guys. And we love him, don't we? But here's what we need. That's right. Yep. And he loves you, and I guarantee you he's watching, so he knows you love him. Yep. All right. So, starting today, America First policies are the way to save this country. Am I right? I need more people in Congress that believe in this, that don't want to be a swamp creature, that don't want to be bought off, that actually want to do the job. And it's a hard job. We give up a lot to do this job. I don't want to be there. I have a great life. I have a lot more fun at home with my family and my friends. But I'm there because I believe we have to save this country. And I'm really happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm with you. So I'm going to give up this microphone because there's someone else here that you definitely need to hear from because he's so great, and I'm so happy I serve with him. But most importantly, remember this, and I want you to rise up. I want you to tell all of your friends and your family that from now on, it's people over politicians, and we're going to save America and stop socialism by putting America first. God bless you guys.